in Final Form Entertainment Monday Night Lights tournaments, where we have 2 more series to go tonight. We are halfway through the action, and there has yet to be a higher seeded team win tonight. Every single series has been an upset by seeding. I seeded the top 4 teams as the 4 teams coming tonight that were competing in the Summer Series currently. They all lost round 1. And then George Mason, the 8th seed, just beat RCU in the semifinals once. So Taquito, it's been a weird night. I hope you're prepared for some insanity on MNL tonight.
Hey, look, I'm just happy to be back and be able to see Siena Heights again. I got the chance, like I told you before this, to see them one time previously, and I was impressed. I was very, very impressed by this squad. So I'm going to be looking out for that side of Siena Heights, but I get a chance to actually see Radford, who did pop off in a previous series. I'm also very, very excited about that. I heard a name when I slid in earlier, said kind of frequently. So over in Radford, I'm going to have my eyes on Rhyolite, kind of watching their gameplay. And as for Siena Heights, you know we got to watch Yanini, because we love to say the name. It's such a fun gamer tag.
Fun name, and both the players you just mentioned, it's easy to say their names quite frequently because it seems like they are always on the ball. Like, the supporting cast for either side, saying supporting cast sounds insulting because all 4 players are extremely good, but when we watch Siena Heights in their last Monday Night Lights run, like, we saw a lot of Yanini on the ball, and so far in the series earlier, we saw a lot of Rhyolite on the ball. So I'm eager to see what happens here as Yanini sets up 11 for the opening goal.
Oh, that's crazy. So you mentioned Yanini. Like, that's wild that we're already talking about that player. But of course, the credit is going to slide over to 11, kicking off Siena Heights here. First goal within 36 seconds. And I mean, wasn't very high pressure, I would say. It was one of those moments where you just strike while the iron's hot, and you're going to capitalize with what you can. I want to see more on this side of Radford, though. I did see a lot of great pressure early on from them. At the end of their series, I only unfortunately could catch the last 2 games. But what I saw in their offense is absolutely deadly. So I'm going to be looking for a lot of these counterattacks coming out from this squad, the way they transition from defense to offense.
I mean, their first man challenges on the ball are so good. They create so much space for each other, and it is exciting to watch. As I'm not sure if this is officially the debut of the Rhyolite version of this roster, but we are very early on in the development of this Radford team. So Siena Heights, a great test for them. As we've talked about a good bit tonight, they did make it to 2nd place the last time that they played on Monday Night Lights. And so we'll see how they do in this one. They've got the first goal so far in our best of 7, but it is Radford's turn to attack, and they are denied access even into the box right there by Yanini.
And of course, I mean, Siena Heights got to lock down the defense. Having that cushion of 1 goal, whether it be a few minutes in, a couple seconds, what have you, you get to start with the lead. You get to set the pace of this specific game. And it's even more important when you get to set the pace for the series. So I love this from Siena Heights. I love how they're playing that lockdown offense and defense. They're playing both sides of the pitch well from the midfield, and it's just wonderful to see from this squad.
And I don't often do this as well, but I'm going to show the scoreboard really quickly up on stream. Siena Heights, all West Coast players during the summer. Obviously, Siena Heights is in Michigan, but all 3 players live on the West Coast. So their ping is actually decent, around the 80 mark. So I'm happy with that, because we remember the last time against Jordan Parker in that grand final, the ping was an issue. But so far, so good. I will check in to see if they want a central server after this. I'm saying that to remind myself, as I have a bad habit of forgetting. But at the moment, holding on to that 1-goal lead. But Super Smurf and Rhyolite going to combine to take it away. Good 50 to set him up, and Rhyolite gets the ball right back to Super Smurf for the equalizer.
Well, okay, so we're talking about the good defense, the lockdown of, what they've got going on here. Of course, sometimes you lock your tires down into the ground, and unfortunately, Siena Heights get caught sitting a little still right there. However, it's not, I don't think it's too much. I think both of these teams have absolutely capitalized on good mistakes. Unfortunately, 11 missing that shot wide right there. But I feel as we've seen this game develop so far, that's really what we're going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at two teams who only score off of just glaring mistakes made by their opponents. Both of them seem to be very much so on the ball as time has passed.
Yeah, maybe at the moment, but as the series develops, I would expect a lot more mechanical plays. But there's your mistake right there. Fuge is going to turn in an open net as the defense of Radford was far too spaced out. Xeris and Rhyolite both committed with Super Smurf on the back end on 0 boost. There was no hope of getting back to that well-placed ball.
Again, it's one of those things where you find yourself, maybe you're on an island as last man, maybe both of your teammates have moved up to try to force an attack, and you're just kind of sitting there back like, hey guys, do you remember that we're a 3-team player? Like, we gotta help me out some. But unfortunately, it doesn't always happen. That's a great opening right there in the net. Rhyolite taking out Yanini, two of our star players to look at, and unfortunately, they can't turn it in on the side of Radford. That's going to be a missed opportunity. I'm sure they're going to look back if they manage to either get it close or they lose this game.
Man, I wish Fuge had committed on that Yanini ball in the corner, but I don't think anybody other than Yanini on the pit is expecting him to get through the corner. that was nice. That doesn't result in anything except for time off the clock, which Siena Heights will, I'm sure, be happy about. They get right back to playing offense, and Yanini will find another goal to put in the back pocket of Siena Heights. 3-1, they're looking fine in game 1.
That's 11 and Fuge, both helping out Yanini. Pad his own stats, right? That's exactly what we're looking at. Both team members combined to help their shooter out. 3-1 the scoreline. We're a little under a minute. We're about to get closer to 30 seconds left. It's going to be a lot for Radford here. They're going to try to just switch the pendulum. That's a great shot towards the net, and even better save from Yanini. But the force of offense, fortunately, dissipates very early on as they're playing a bit spread out on the blue side.
He wants a double commit though. We'll give Rhyolite some space. He'll go off the ceiling and actually ends up spiking the ball like he intended to do, it seemed, despite being low on boost. It's a creative thought, but Siena Heights too solid to let that slip through. Game 1 coming to a close, and Siena Heights on top for now, starting this semifinal off on the right foot.
And what better than a 2-goal game, right? I mean, obviously the ball yet to touch the ground. They're going to play in garbage time here. Maybe try to get something, if anything, on their side. Finally, we see the ball hit the grass. It will be game 1 over to Orange. A 2-goal swing to move them through the beginning of this series. Do we have any takeaways just from game 1? Obviously, game 1, the appetizer to the main course of the best of 7. But what is your takeaway so far here for Radford?
I don't think there's anything really to read into. I think they're probably getting adjusted to Siena Heights' speed, obviously with the format of the stream. For Monday Night Lights, these teams had to wait a little bit after their round 1 series to get set to go for this semifinal. So I feel like for Radford, it's just a little off for now. Game 2 is really where I'll have some takeaways for you. But I do want to point out Siena Heights shooting 3 for 3 that game. Not a ton of shots on target. It was very calculated for them at the start of this series. And Yanini looked on point as I expected him to. 11 and Fuge, I think, looked as on point as I expected them to. I think we got exactly what we expected from Siena Heights in game 1. And Radford just has to match that quality of play going forward.
I agree. I think that takeaway in and of itself is good. It's something to look forward to. It's something that obviously Radford needs to step up on their own end, maybe challenge a little bit earlier, maybe not throw away possession seemingly, or better yet, guys, rotate maybe just slightly more tight, I guess, is on that one. Fuge has an opportunity at just the moment the net opened up. Fuge is just slotting it straight home. Siena Heights, 13 seconds in this time, take the first goal.
I don't know if that was a rotation thing. That was just straight up dusting by Siena Heights. They beat Radford on like 4 consecutive challenges with a Radford player trying to get that ball. They were diving in after it, but they found no touches on the rock whatsoever. Siena Heights, massive speed early on into game 2, finding a pretty nice goal to have in your back pocket, and they will just add on to it. Fuge shooting 2 for 3 in the first 40 seconds, and SHU on top very handily early on.
I like the fact that once they hug, like so far what we've noticed through game 1 and 2, once they hug a certain side of the pitch, you notice the boost just start to disappear. The pads, the hundreds, whatever you want to call it, they are absolutely suffocating Radford when they approach from that specific side, and I think that just goes to show the in sync the team is feeling, how in sync they're feeling right now, and I love that from the side of Siena Heights. I do know that we can expect more from Radford, but for right now, they look 100%.
Yeah, I'm with you there. That though was sloppy.
Okay, 75%. Maybe I spoke a little too soon. 75%.
They dipped down to 75 for a second, but the average is still in the high 90s. Don't worry about that. And even with the sloppiness, Radford wasn't able to find a substantial clear. We are still fighting for possession now, as Super Smurf takes that challenge on the sidewall to set up eventually. Rhyolite off the ceiling, scary, keeping control. That is
oh my God,
so clean. And it gets Radford to the offensive zone, but it's these follow-ups to keep possession going that we need to see more out of. And that was a decent couple of challenges. It got the ball in the box, but can they glean a goal from it?
Unfortunately, no. Good dibble from Yanini right there. Leaves it open a little bit, but look at Rhyolite stretching for that save. Smurf now needs to get something here out of the corner. It's a double. That could be awkward, and it is. The glaring mistake gleans a goal for Radford. They're on the board within the first 2 minutes, and there is so much time to play here in game number 2.
Fuge just fell into that. He was descending. Stupid gravity was taking him into the ball, and he doubles it past his teammate, and center for Radford. And they are on the board here in game 2. Took them 2 minutes, but they found their first and nearly their second, as 11 had to play that dangerously across his box, but no one from Radford wanted to play that aggressive in offense. There's still time to find an equalizer, and they will reset from their defensive zone.
Oh, that's a good boost grab from Xeris, and they have to go instantly. That third man with no boost, and they're still able to produce saves and defensive masterclass. Rhyolite right there, I believe, probably only had 8 boosts in the tank, had to fight off an absolute clanger of a shot. Does so well. Xeris is also looking for help, and now they have to move forward again on this low boost marker. I can say that Radford so far has played wonderfully with low boost, almost getting a shot there as Xeris themselves. Rhyolite looking for one, it's denied, but the offense has yet to dissipate.
Super Smurf's playing patient with this, so it will dissipate for a moment, the Radford offense, but formulated again. Super Smurf one flip reset. I don't think he got the second, but he did find a way to get the ball to Rhyolite. So we'll stick around the midfield third for a moment. Xeris taking a shot back wall, testing 11's backboard defense, but 11 passing with flying colors. Rhyolite setting up Super Smurf, slamming it off the back wall for Xeris. Won't find a thing. Siena Heights still playing solid on their back line. They have held Radford just the 1 goal at the moment, and that will keep Siena Heights out in front. They could add to their lead. 11 was looking creative right there, but Rhyolite a big save.
11 was looking extremely creative. Is that a big enough stretch? It's not. Unfortunately, 11 having to rotate back after Yanini goes. Fuge all the way up in the court. I see what happened. Never mind. 11 was demoed. Off the demo, 11 had to stretch, and unfortunately not enough boost in the tank to catch up to it in time. Radford has tied us up. We've got about 74 seconds, 84 seconds left on the clock here. Can they do it?
Radford hasn't played the cleanest Rocket League at times tonight, but their offense can score in a second. Rhyolite spearheading that attack will put Radford out front. What a play. Found the tightest flip reset angle you possibly could have asked for, and that's enough. 3-2.
Gently just tucked that ball in there. Rhyolite said, shh, it's okay, go to sleep, right here. Nice way to wrap around that as well. Rhyolite terrifying there on the control. 2 people miss. Xerus can shoot. Yanini is going to deny that 100%. Go in the opposite direction. They can. Rhyolite is still up and saving again. No boost, and I feel like that has been the biggest takeaway for me this game, is that Radford has done so well to play on the lowest boost setting. Fuge looking to be the third person to try to shoot. They can't score. It's crazy on the side of Siena Heights. Oh my god.
And
oh my
Rhyolite
gosh.
is cherry picking the insurance goal Radford needs, more than likely, to put them over the edge here in Game 2. Siena Heights was thwarted by a bar down shot that, if it goes off the backboard, is certainly an equalizer, but the awkwardness caused by the crossbar leads them losing an opportunity to score, and Radford on the other side of the ball finding a way to keep it going.
Jeez.
5-2, Radford on a tear.
Okay, I just want to point out as well, Rhyolite and Smurf both shooting 100% right now. Poor Xerus. 1 for 6. Xerus can't hit a goal if they had the money to buy one. But I mean, you're up by 3, 5-2, less than 20 seconds left. I doubt they care about their shooting statistics at the moment. But that is crazy to see the quality that Radford has now produced here in game number 2.
Not just in Game 2, or I guess not in Game 2. I feel like that was just in the second half of play. Like, it started off, the first 2 minutes or so, with Radford kind of struggling to get going against Siena Heights. They were generating little bits and bursts of offense, but it wasn't enough to develop into anything substantial until they found that first goal off the back of a Siena Heights mistake. And after that, I mean, you see the final score, a 4-0 run. Oh, wait, were they down by 2 goals earlier? Was it a 5-0 run?
Yeah, it was a 5-0 run.
Oh, man. Radford, they can score in an instant.
Yeah. Fuge scored 2 back-to-back, both with an assist from 11 and Yanini. And Rhyolite was like, all right, boys, it's time to step up. We're done with this. We're absolutely done. That was a crazy unanswered run right there. A 5-0 swing on momentum puts Radford tying on the scoreboard here. We move into game number 3. Now, is there something that you've taken away here for Siena Heights? Can they fix anything? Or is it still just them getting beat on the challenges?
Well, they have to be prepared for what Radford's throwing at them. If mostly Rhyolite, but Super Smurf and Xerus, I know if they get space, can be as lethal as Rhyolite has looked. They have to be prepared for those open space challenges. They have to make sure they're getting a toe on the ball in defense, just interrupting what Radford's trying to do with the rock. Right there, Yanini, great challenge, goes straight up, and the follow-up isn't phenomenal, but at the very least, Siena Heights found a way, improvisationally, to interfere with what Radford was trying to do. It leads to a clear, and now in offense, they can play their game. I'm not worried about Siena Heights in offense. I'm just worried about them stopping a Radford that have found some wind in their sails.
That's the best way to put it. They have absolutely found some wind in their sails. They found that second just burst of energy, and it's now produced such a great set of plays. What a save on the goal line from 11. Unfreaking believable.
Siena Heights can do it on both sides of the ball. We know that, and they will continue to do so here. Fuge following up a beautiful save by 11 with one of his own. And it will lead to a half a clear here. Rhyolite will collect and cut, but is warded off the ball there by his opponent, giving 11 a little bit of space to set up Fuge, who has been dusted by Rhyolite, still with nothing in the tank, but he develops a shot, and Yanini made a meal of that play, and it results in an easy cleanup for Super Smurf. 1-0 Radford.
Easy? Man, I don't know. Look at 11 being in the right spot. Had 11 not flipped right there, I absolutely would have been able to play that out. Siena Heights panicking a little bit on the goal line. It happens. I understand. You guys are better than me. I absolutely would have let that in 100% of the time. But it is crazy to see infield pass, but Smurf has absolutely no time on their hands to be getting scored on. Where did you come from?
And that's why Radford is so much more than just the flashy plays of Rhyolite. Super Smurf, massive on the goal line. Gets him out of dodge for now, but Xeros, this time around, has to rotate back quickly to get Radford out of harm's way. Giannini trying to place them right back into it. Center ball, and Xeros will make sure it heads right out of the box and into the hands of Rhyolite. Cut ball back center is intercepted by Giannini. Just kind of lob one into the defensive zone of Radford and see what Siena Heights can do to pick up the pieces. Maybe craft something of an offense, but even then, Super Smurf taking it away, and the defense of Radford prevails again.
It prevails. This time, though, we see Siena Heights stop it in the mid, and that's something that we... Oh, never mind. We have a little bit of a double commit, a team bump there. But they have done extremely well to stop the ball from approaching their half in a disadvantage type situation so far through this last minute. However, they've got to produce something on offense. I feel like once they get past that midfield mark, they kind of throw away possession, and it's not due to the fact that they aren't able to make a play out of it. I think they just don't have a choice. They've got to get rid of the ball, or else Radford is going to attack and challenge.
11 trying to claim possession, but Xeros and Super Smurf on the same page here, and it leads to a worm burner of a shot that Fuge is able to block, but Radford played that corner moment perfectly. Tandem defense to find a clear, find an opportunity, and again, push back on a Siena Heights team that I'm sure would love to set up shop on that Radford side, but they can't at the moment. They're forced to play a little bit back because shots like that can develop at any instance. Nice read by Giannini. Double commit at the midfield line could open up some room for Siena Heights, but Giannini can't get to that ball first. 50-50. That Rhyolite will hop on second and try to generate some offense with.
Oh, man, and we're playing so dangerously at the goal line, and it's not the touch you want. Xeros and Smurf working together there in tandem to put them up by a set of goals. They're 2 up, none to the side of Siena. It is less than a minute 30, and I'm wondering here, will we see magic happen the same way we did for the side of Radford? It is... They've gone 8 in a row, by the way. I just want to point that out, Bepic. It's 8 in a row. 8 unanswered.
Yeah, that's not a stat line I think Siena Heights fans are going to want you to repeat again. That is a serious run out of Radford. They have not looked back since about the 3-minute mark of game 2. And, I mean, Siena Heights, all of a sudden, I am worried about their defense. And not for that open net of the kickoff goal, but because they're just being out-dueled creatively by Radford. The plays that Radford is making right now on both sides of the ball are better than the ones that Siena Heights are making. Straight up. And the series didn't start off like that. It was Radford I was concerned about when we started things off in the second semifinal. But they have absolutely warmed back up. And they look, well, more than warmed up. They look on fire.
I was going to say, I don't think you can get closer to magma without talking about Radford through this series, man. They are burning through Siena Heights at this moment, and maybe we see this next game, Siena Heights, they hit the drawing board, maybe they steal some plays from Radford's playbook, I'm not sure, but I think it's going to have to start with them taking out some of their opposing players. Giannini trying to fight Rhyolite, the good 50 right there in favor of the Radford player. We have another opportunity here for 11, but it's going to lose to the defense of the blue wall on the pitch. These guys will not let anything by. 9 in a row, Bepic. The stats continue to go up.
The funny thing is, though, about that, despite a 9-0 run, Radford after this game is only going to be up by 1 game in the series, which it doesn't feel like that at the moment, but that is the quirky little thing about a best-of-7 in Rocket League, or heck, even any series in Rocket League. Like, momentum can shift so quickly. Radford can go on a now 10-goal run, which will enjoy this replay here, and yet they're only up by a goal, and that... a game, rather. And that is not a safe position against a team like Siena Heights. I trust in Siena Heights here. I don't think they have to steal plays from Radford. I think they got plays in their own playbook they're going to use to get back in this one. So I am very curious to see what Siena Heights does in Game 4, because that's a big turning point in this series, if they lose it or if they win it.
I got to agree there as well. I think another thing, too, that we can point out is I believe collectively before Fuge left to, hit the garage, they teamed together to shoot 7 times on Radford's net. Radford doubled their shot count and produced 5 goals out of it. Stepping up the quality of the shot, I think, will help a lot here for Siena Heights. Again, I want to call to the possession. I think if they can keep possession in the blue half instead of having to throw it away, or they feel like they're forced to make an option happen against Radford, I feel like they produce more than quality shots. But right now, their opponents in blue they're just standing so tall.
It's just better challenges. They're playing better around each other right now, especially in defense, which is why you keep mentioning they can't hold on to possession, because they can't. Radford is just too creative on the backside of the ball at the moment. But again, that all can change here. Siena Heights off kickoff will be scoring. That's Rocket League for you.
Yeah. You can score 10 times in a row, Bepic, but you can't score 11. But they'll score. And in the drought, you can't beat me at my own game, says Siena Heights, all right? 3 seconds in, my God. This has got to be a record for them. They have scored so quick. When they score first, they score so quickly from the beginning of the game. And then it kind of feels like they lose steam throughout. And I hope this time around, they don't lose that fervor.
I mean, they will take first blood after dropping 10 goals in a row. Siena Heights got to be feeling a little bit better here. Yanini off the ceiling. Yanini finds the back of the Radford net. Brilliant as ever. He said, Radford, you got your time in the spotlight. Now's mine.
That's a beautiful placement, too. I mean, it's not right underneath the crossbar, but it's close enough to force your opponent to have to jump so quickly and guess where that's going to go. And even then, all Yanini would have had to have done was just hold on to that jump for a little bit longer. So again, like you said, expert play there from Yanini to continue Siena Heights' time in the limelight, but this is going to be crucial. The double almost finds its way. Rhyolite will take their own chance. They're going to try to double. They miss. One more from Smurf. That's going to be a whiff. Xeris shoots, and Xeris finally scores. How many names can I say in a row before Radford finally puts one in?
What I want to know is how many of those missed shots or just missed touches were intentional. Because a lot of them did look intentional, but I'm never certain when it comes to this level of Rocket League. Either way, though, Radford used all of those misses and missed shots and whatever all of that was to find one back and cut that Siena Heights lead in half. So, minute in, Game 4 already delivering on the entertainment front.
Of course it is. I mean, we've got 2 banger teams playing one another. It's got to deliver on the entertainment. Smurf throws one up, sees Rhyolite. Rhyolite, I think, running out of boost there is what stopped that team play from coming to fruition. I mean, fortunately enough, if you're an SHU fan, but for right now, if you're a Radford fan, you're kind of sad you didn't get to see Rhyolite peak slightly there.
They'll get more chances. Don't you worry about that. But it is still Siena Heights' turn to conduct their offense. And 11, he waits on that ball. And that bet pays off as Xeris went high on it. Though he's invited back into the play, finds Rhyolite mid, but not before Yanini intervenes on the play. Siena Heights upping their speed in defense, finding an opening in offense, but Super Smurf realized the shot was off target before I did, and now looking to convert on the other side of the ball.
Oh my gosh, what a squishy save right there from 11. High shot will put Fuge in the best position to take possession across the field. Will it be a goal? Yes, it will. Fuge from the back corner all the way downtown, and they increase that lead back by 2.
Nice beat. Super Smurf dove in. He bet on himself right there.
100%.
And I can back that bet up in most cases, but he lost the money there in the midfield line. Easy beat by Fuge. Could probably see Super Smurf coming from a mile away, and that will add to the lead of Siena Heights. Xeris trying to take a little bit of it back. That shot off the crossbar will stay out for the time being. Super Smurf trying to make up for his miss, but cannot at the moment. Though Xeris turns the play around, takes a shot. Fuge on the near side finds the block.
Ooh, what a good 50 for Fuge. Can Smurf sneak this one through? They can! And oh my, Radford. Absolutely radical play here from Smurf. Around 2, pushing it to the top corner. Top cheddar, upper 90. Smurf not playing any games right now.
Man, Super Smurf was a player that I was introduced to at the beginning of this year, and I have been delighted to watch him play every single time he takes the pitch, because not always flashy from Super Smurf, but he will get the job done. That was flashy, though. Rhyolite set him up, he knocked it down, and Rhyolite again continuing the flash, though. Siena Heights finding a block in that instance. Now, a flash off the back of his car as he demos a Siena Heights defender and finishes the play off himself. Rhyolite continuing to amaze.
My favorite thing that I've noticed at these higher levels, and something that I think they've started implementing more and more of, is a lot of these over-the-shoulder passes. They're just so good, man. They got a player all the way upfield, and they're just they're lobbing it over to the player. Like, go ahead, man, finish it off for me. We know you got that. 11 through Calamity isn't able to land the shot there. I feel like Siena Heights could have plussed on that opportunity. Sadly, they don't. Xeris now will keep the offense alive for Radford for a brief moment. Can Smurf keep it alive? No. It will be Rhyolite off their own back wall. Gonna have to slow play this to the mid, but we know what it's like. The ball basically is glued to their car when they take possession in the air.
Xeris the same here, going for the bump on 11. He was the first challenger, though. The next 2 dove at the same time, however. A lot of offensive agency right now for Radford. But really quickly, shout out to Pyro J for the raid. Dude, thanks for bringing everybody over. I hope the stream went well, my man. Everybody go give Pyro J a follow. He is a frequenter of Monday Night Lights, and Monday Night Lights to him as well. We raid each other quite a bit. But right now, 3-3 in the final 60 seconds of Game 4. This is a massive game in our second semifinal of the night, and a massive next goal to follow, and, well, actually, who knows how long.
Oh my gosh, Yanini is cooking all that movement, all the options that he's creating for himself. Can he get some more Fuge off the back wall? 11. Maybe it was a long pass down to Yanini, who was lying in wait, but unfortunately possession thrown away. Gonna have to play some defense here on the side of SHU. The ball dangerously floating in the mid for whoever is willing to jump at the chance. And it looks like, for now, SHU is keeping their opponents out. But how long will that last?
Siena Heights in offense there, playing the demo card for a moment. It didn't quite pan out, giving them a little bit of room, but Xeris on the back wall created space enough to get maybe the last opportunity of regulation here. 11, though, on the back wall, should field this and take it to dirt. Maybe set up something. No one committed on it enough. So we get overtime in Game 4, tied at 3 apiece.
And this is amazing. I love to see this. It's going to be the tying game for Siena. It would be the match point game here for Radford if they're able to sneak the win out. But you know me, I got a hope for Siena here. I hope they can tie it up and give us at least a 6-game series, or a look at it, if you will. But right now, your opponents are Radford, guys. You know what they can do when the pressure is high. They will absolutely dunk one on your head.
I wouldn't mind a guaranteed Game 6. We are far too ahead of schedule tonight for my liking. Gotta get closer to being behind here. That's a miss, though. Xeris hearing my call, but Super Smurf denying the first opportunity, and Rhyolite the second. 11 stepping up next in offense with Rhyolite. Wonderful challenge. Forces Fuge into a tough spot. He just plays it hard into his corner. That ball, though, grazes the posts of Siena Heights. So scary for SHU. We play on in overtime.
Oh my gosh, and no one's going after the ball. Yanini, no boost to attack. 11 has to play this off the back wall, but it's still dangerous for the side of Radford, guys. You got to get the ball away. Oh my lord, that angle that we had there at our vantage point did not look good. But Siena Heights, they thwart any attack coming their direction. They're in the blue, Demo in the mid. Deleting 2, Xerus is playing the aggressor to help Rhyolite and Smurf. Can they get it? Will it happen? No. Siena, even though the boost is on E, they are doing everything they can to keep it alive.
It was a courageous collection by 11. He fielded even though he knew, I'm sure, there were blue cars in the area. And that bet ends up paying off. 11 slamming that ball off the back wall. We'll find Super Smurf waiting there. Super Smurf now taking a shot as Xerus cleared some space. Rhyolite, no boost to go for the double. Instead, waits on it. And that shot was pristine. He takes the simple half volley and slams the Siena Heights defense into smithereens. 4-3. Radford taking an overtime.
And we find ourselves on match point, my friend.
Yep.
That was the best game of the series so far. 100%. Look at the stats, too. I mean, 19 shots for Radford for the 10 shots of Siena Heights, and that couldn't have felt closer this entire series.
That's an absurd shot line. Super Smurf and Xerus were ripping shots on target. Though Rhyolite did shoot the most efficiently, 2 for 5, and Siena Heights racking up the save numbers, but ultimately it is not enough. This really is a shootout of a series, though. Radford just narrowly got the edge there, but Siena Heights was right there with them. Their offense operating on a very similar level. Man, if this series does end up finishing 4-1, if Radford does close it out in Game 5, I'm going to feel hard done by, because this has the feeling of a Game 6, Game 7 type of series.
100%. We got to see magic happen for Siena Heights here in this Game 5.
Yep.
Backs to the wall, nose to the grindstone. You guys have to figure it out. This is the series where you put it together. The culmination of all 4 of the past games comes to fruition here. We've got to see Siena Heights prove that offense that we were seeing through most of Game 4 can produce results.
It has to, but Super Smurf looking for Rhyolite. I was thinking Radford was going to get the first say at producing some results, but we'll have a say in that play. A demo in the midfield takes away a passing option that could have led to a threatening opportunity on the Radford net. Instead, Siena Heights try again. Foods the passing option this time around. He will set up 11 with a backboard ball, and 11 places it perfectly bottom left.
There's something that I am interested to see through this wonderful... can you hear me? Because my game is crashing, I believe. I don't know if I'm crashing.
I can hear you.
Okay, well, I'm crashing, so you guys keep playing, and I'll just say what I wanted to say. It's akin to volleyball. There's a moment where defenders will go up against somebody trying to slam the ball. They'll throw a purposeful fake to be blocked to retain the possession, and that's kind of what I feel a lot of these players do. When you were talking about which one of those shots were purposeful and which one of them weren't. They play it off the back wall with such just thought process in it, and that's what I like to see.
Oh yeah, I do love it when players are thinking. It's not always flashy. I love the chess moves as well. But Yanini, a player full of flash, denied exit of the defensive end by Xerus, who missing or perhaps stunting Rhyolite as he moved in but had to wait on what was transpiring on the Siena Heights backboard. So it's his turn on the ball after a minute in wait. Moved into the defensive end, tried to carry the ball out, and Siena Heights finding possession off the back of a back and forth bout. Taquito, are you able to get back in?
I'm absolutely back in. I can see what's happening here. Rhyolite, beautiful possession denied by Fuge in the mid. Xerus goes up, who just gets dusted by Yanini. I didn't even see Yanini underneath that play, so that was impressive. Fuge out of the corner here is going to have to slow play or at least get something. And there I go again. You know what? I'm trying, man. I'm struggling. Maybe my internet is not doing the best. Who knows? But right now, it is just great gameplay for what I can see as we do see a transition from defense to offense try to come to life.
11 is going to just put a pot shot back up Radford with that little pot shot on net. And Radford collecting, can't escape. Playing a bit more defense in this game as it feels like Siena Heights is transferring their strategy to more of a reserved one. They found their lead, and so they're now backing off, conserving boost, making sure they're getting the best touch that they can on the ball. But well, it's a bit of a giveaway as Giannini plays it lightly, and Rhyolite, if you give him a little bit of space, can make you pay. 11 though on the near side, doing well defensively. Super Smurf though, through the corner. We'll dump the play off to Rhyolite, cuts back mid, but Fu just slight touch on that ball to do enough to postpone the Radford offense.
11 good possession here, looking for a flick. Actually just decides to try to fake it. I wonder why they didn't just flick one onto the backboard. I feel like they had a lot of time to make a much better decision. However, the offense is yet to die for Siena Heights here. Out of the corner, it's going to be a water ball touch. And we find something else. Oh, it's a good challenge in the mid. Will it stay on the side of SHU? I don't know, man, but right now the defense for Radford does get a clear almost all the way home, but Giannini puts it to the side.
To the side, Smurf will be. He's got 12 boost in hand, just circling, waiting to see what happens with Rhyolite's challenge, which is ineffective, and so Super Smurf is required on the goal line to make sure the Siena Heights lead stays at just 1, which it will for now. Unless Radford can have some kind of say about it. In the corner, Super Smurf a drop down for anybody. Rhyolite fakes it, turns around, and that zesty play is going to be thrown right back in his face as Siena Heights, they will find a clear away.
That was wild. I'm surprised that Radford did not plus on that opportunity. Just insane gameplay. 2 shots off the backboard here. Radford still can't find the back of the net. This 1 goal lead has been the most menacing thing that we have seen this series in Game 5, and it's insane that Radford has not found their first opportunity yet.
That is very insane. 5 shots, nothing to show for it just yet, and a team that has put up in all 3 of their wins so far double-digit shooting affairs to be held to just 5 shots. Siena Heights, they found that 1 goal and just went kind of turtle mode. They have played plenty of offense. It doesn't feel like complete turtle mode, but in defense, they always have resources to defend against what Radford is trying to throw their way, and it has nearly worked into a Game 5 win to get us to Game 6. There you go. No kind of 0-second shenanigans. Siena Heights, not dead yet.
Hey, that's what I'm happy to see, all right? Look, it wasn't for sure guaranteed like we were hoping for, but now we have that Game 6. Now we have the opportunity here for Siena Heights to push themselves into a position where we get to Game 7. Because who doesn't love a Game 7, Bepic? I don't know about you, but I love Game 7s. It's the best part of Rocket League.
Yeah, I always say that my favorite game in a series is Game 2. But then after that, it's definitely Game 7 or Game 5. I do enjoy some best-of-1 thrillers, and I wouldn't mind that here in our second semifinal to see who will join George Mason in the grand finals. Radford looking for that all-Virginia school finals. Siena Heights looking to stake a little Michigan claim for that $60 grand prize provided by Final Form Entertainment. But Game 6 is underway. We'll see if we get that ever so coveted Game 7.
I'm hoping we do. I mean, again, a 1-game series, or 1-game just instance before us, after we've had so many instances where it's just been multiple, 2-game, 2-goal, 3-goal happenings here. I'm losing my mind. I'm sorry. I'm trying to watch the gameplay as well, and I'm just thinking to myself, how did we get here? Like, Radford has looked so dominant. Oh, and 11 misses it right underneath the crossbar there. Radford has absolutely looked so dominant through this series, but I love the vigor and the fight from Siena Heights, even though they do give up goal number 1.
But they should have had goal number 1. 11
okay,
missed
fair.
The corner bounce, missed the read just at crossbar level, and then Rhyolite shows him how to read a corner bounce, puts it in, and Radford going to be scoring first in Game 6.
What an opportunity as well. Like you said, it should have gone one way, swings the other. Rhyolite proving that they do not want this to continue on to a 7-game series, but it looks like Siena Heights has absolutely no business losing this game the way they're playing that defense. My gosh, they locked down the orange goal.
They got to keep that going, though. And that is tough to do when you're making crazy goal line saves to stay alive. Radford, they narrowly miss out on another goal here in the first 90 seconds of Game 6. They mean business. After getting shut out 1-0 in the last game, they have come out swinging in our 6th game. They don't want to see that final one of the series. Players rarely do. But Siena Heights still could get us there. They've had a couple of offensive opportunities, and they're trying to establish another one here.
Oh, good demo right there. 11 has an opportunity. Wait, did Giannini bump them? Oh, no. I thought 11 had it, but I think Giannini accidentally nicked the backside of the car, which messed up their shot. And, of course, when you're cutting that hard, you've just got to go ahead and take it. Fuge now to the sky, looking for that air dribble bump. Off the back wall, Rhyolite saves. Giannini tries. Can't get the shot, but the offense is yet to die from Siena Heights. Can they figure it out and put one in the back of the net? Yes,
there it is.
They can.
11 had so many chances at about this height, at about that length away from the Radford goal, and he finally puts in the 3rd one. Beautiful pass from Fuge, and 11 connects with it perfectly. Siena Heights, they connect. I mean, they've had plenty of opportunities to start off with, and finally, one falls.
I mean, 11 got robbed initially, remember? That's who couldn't sneak the ball under the crossbar, so it's only vindication for them to get that shot. Now, you've got to fight against Rhyolite, somebody who's obviously been feeling that burn in Game 5. They didn't want to be here in Game 6 in the first place. Tied up as we pass halftime as well. Good bump. Giannini to the corner, looking for an opportunity to set up a teammate. Can they do so? No. Fuge would be silly to cut in right there. Better defense is the option here instead of an overpowering offense.
He'll be back in defense, but I don't know if it's better. Rhyolite had a chance on that ball, but still had to get it around a defender low on boost, so a little bit out to the side. The rebound attempt stuffed by 11, and the rebound of the rebound denied by Fuge. Nice defensive stand by Siena Heights, but won't be rewarded with offense just yet. Instead, they stay under the gun. Though Super Smurf has dived in for that. It's a 3v1 the other way. 11 looking for the finishing touch. Instead, he plants it on the near side with some help from a great defensive play out of Xeris, and Radford find their way out of a scary situation.
Well, it's going to be a double opportunity. Is there anyone approaching? No. 11 just sends it downfield. Is that open? It's not. Smurf is there just in time. Infield pass will not be found by Fuge, and it's going to be a big shot the other direction. Nice clear. Can 11 deal with this properly? Good challenge from Rhyolite. No one there to follow up, and Siena Heights, they do kind of turtle for a moment, but for how much longer can they withstand the Radford onslaught?
Hey, we saw Game 5, where they withstood that onslaught for all 5 minutes of regulation.
True.
So,
True.
I put stock in their ability to hold Radford at bay. And they've only got to do it for 50 more seconds, you know, if they score a goal in that time. But overtime is looming over the horizon at the moment in Game 6. Siena Heights playing from their back line at the moment. That is a scary prospect with Rhyolite on the ball. Through the corner, though, he is denied by Giannini. Super Smurf the same. Xeris, though, 3rd tries to charm for Radford. Keep possession in their name. Gives them another opportunity to score, though it is a bit of a weak one.
Oh, 11, good challenge. I didn't think they were actually going to get it from Smurf. Xeris off the back wall, leaves Giannini alone. That's the bump. And I think that could be the dagger. Oh my gosh.
Heads up play. Xeris,
Truly.
head on a swivel, saw Giannini dead to rights and was like, let's make him deader to rights, sir. Gave Rhyolite a completely free path to the net.
Fake.
And 2-1. Radford could close this series out in Game 6, but Siena Heights, an opportunity perhaps, as Fuge is on the ball, pops it through one, slams it over another. Giannini redirection, no, left it for 11, and the shot sends the ball into dirt. T-Han says it right. Battle of Virginia coming. Radford moved to the grand finals.
Well, it is an all Virginia Grands, is it not?
It is.
That is what we have on our hands, my friend. Radford sealed the deal to keep the the territory similar. It's a bout of brothers, if you will. A good game too. Game 6 series after Siena had 10 unanswered goals scored on them between games 2 and 3. That is just an amazing way to answer back for that side. But however, Radford, the bullies stand the tallest. Their aggression pulled them through this 6-game series. 4-2, the entire score line here, or the goal or game line, whatever you want, a series line. Well, I don't know. I'm saying words at this point. I'm yapping. But I'm happy to see it. I was glad to see Radford pull this win out. It's wonderful to see these players on the pitch tonight. I'm getting to learn more and more about these college teams through M&L.
I'm going to put the bracket back on screen, so shield your eyes. It is very white, as it is Google Sheets. But I want you to look at the seeding column, and I want you to look at the bottom of the seeding column, because in the bottom, seeds 7 and 8, you have our 2 grand finalists, Radford and George Mason, sitting in grands. No favorite has won tonight, and I honestly don't know what's going to happen in grands. I wouldn't be surprised if George Mason wins it all. But either way, seeds 7 and 8 are in grands. Taquito, this might be the craziest Monday Night Lights we've seen so far.
I was just about to say that. I was like, that is the craziest result for seeding, to see that the 7th and 8th seed are the teams in the grand finals. Who could have seen it coming? I mean, obviously us. We saw it coming. We got to commentate it. So
yeah, I could justify the seeding too, because
I can
Radford
justify it.
did not do well in summer series qualifiers, and then they have a new unproven roster. Obviously, Rhyolite's a great pickup, but I hadn't played with them before,
sure.
So I wasn't expecting things out of Radford. I was debating, should I put them above Siena Heights? Should I not? I elected for below. They proved me wrong. And then George Mason, worst summer series qual results out of all teams in the field. I placed them 8th, and they beat Colorado and Rochester Christian. Fair enough. It's chaos. The grand finals will probably be even more chaotic. Taquito, though, I appreciate you joining me for semifinals too, man.
It's been a lot of fun, dude. I always have an immense amount of fun doing Monday Night Lights. It's my chance to actually get into CRL more and more and learn who these players are. So I will take every opportunity I absolutely can. CRL is amazing. And Psionics, I doubt you're listening, but you need to listen, because we need more. We're missing this. This is what you guys are missing. This kind of action.
You're right about that. Entertainment nonstop, action nonstop. Except for the break we're about to take. On the other side, though, grand finals coming up. The Bepic and Final Form $60 Monday Night Lights tournament. So make sure you stay tuned, please. Radford versus George Mason. You do not want to miss it. See you there.